A couple things. I kind of like this new. I didn't know if I liked the new setup, but I made it over in 24 and a half seconds. I timed it, so Paulson better think about putting me on the track team. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We talk about a few things. We'll get to this weekend, but yep. Yeah. That's exactly what you wanted. I guess we'll start with what we have coming up this weekend. Just first home meet on Sunday against North Dakota State. Obviously makes a huge difference to have a crowd. This is a team that you're definitely going to want to get out and watch. Something we have going on beforehand, Panther Train kind of Pins Cancer Clinic. We've done that for a few years, and we're doing it for a little girl named Evie who unfortunately just passed away. We're still going to raise whatever we can for them, and the family can use it however they need it. But yeah, 4 years old, just turned 4, and then passed away this weekend. So our thoughts and sympathies obviously go to her and her family. I think we're all impacted by this disease. A couple people that I want to talk about, and one is Bill Bales. I don't know if anybody knows who he is. He's really the one that got this thing started. He started at Cornell. He's been battling for longer than he'd probably like to tell you right now. But I got to know him through Matt Fields. Matt Fields wrestled at Iowa for me. He was an administrator there, was a track coach, and got to know him a little bit and saw that he was battling cancer, and he was putting all these Facebook posts up about how horrible he felt, but he was going to still go out and run. And this was about 5 years ago. And I kept seeing him. I'm like, man, we got to have this guy come in and talk to our team. And he came in and talked to our team, and he's been a friend of the program ever since. And he's been an inspiration to us and in our program. And we wouldn't have what we have going on right now with this clinic without him. So I want to make sure that we thank him. And, man, he's still always willing to help. He wants to, hey, what can I do for this? What can I do for this? How can I help? I'll be up there. So he'll be up there. So if you see him, make sure you thank him. You thank him for thinking about other people that are battling right now and not just thinking about himself, but trying to give to others. And that's a great reminder for me. I don't know, he doesn't really know this, but he wrote a check to our club a couple years ago, but I never cashed it. One is because he doesn't need to give us anything. He's inspiration enough, but I keep it on my computer for a couple reasons. One is just I'm always going to give more than I take because I think that's what he does. That's an example of what he does, and just want to make sure that we thank him, and I thank him for the inspiration that he gives to me and how he keeps fighting and battling. So Bill Bales, and then my mom just recently was diagnosed, got lung cancer and bone cancer. But I'll tell you that there's been a lot of people that have reached out. There's been a lot of people that have, whatever, it's a Facebook post, it's a call, it's a text, it's anything. It makes a difference. So I know we're in this world right now, and everyone's kind of, this world's a bad place, and there's no good out there, man. I tell you what, all I see is good. All I see is good. I see how people are trying to help one another, trying to make those around them better. And I want to thank anybody that's reached out to her because it's made a difference. Her spirit's strong. Her spirit is so strong. And it's because of everyone that reaches out. So she's fighting and she's battling right now. I know she's going to try to be around. She doesn't like to miss things, and she's tough. She's really, really tough. But she gives me inspiration every day. And if you see her, this prayers make a difference. So if you believe in that, please send them to her and Bill and anybody else that's fighting out there. And I kind of getting off on a tangent, but you start thinking about things that are way more bigger than wrestling. I think that's an important thing. It's an important thing for our team, and the identity of what we're trying to do as a program is that there's always something bigger out there. There's something bigger than us. There's even something bigger than that individual out on the mat. We're representing something, being for the university, being from UNI, that there's always something bigger there. And I think it helps keep our perspective. It keeps it in the right place. And then we can go out and wrestle inspired, for those people. So, kind of not try to be a downer at all, because it's not a downer, because, it's is a great thing, how people reach out and try to help one another, and that's what we're trying to do this weekend. So if anybody doesn't have plans on Sunday, we've had some people that have stepped up and have just given money. So if anybody doesn't have the funds to be able to come to the event, we've had quite a few people sponsor. So reach out to Brett Robbins or myself, and if we have some of those spots available, we'll give them to you. But we want people out there that just want to give back and want to do something and be part of something bigger. So that'll start at, I think, 11 on Sunday, and then our meet starts at 2. So anybody that can come out, we'd love to have you. As far as this weekend, man, I kind of go right to Cornell. That's kind of what Coach does. I'm sure Farley was just talking about it too. You kind of go to that next thing. There was a lot of good things that I saw this weekend. Good to have some guys back that didn't get to compete the week before. I thought Elber looked great. Very explosive, strong. Some people are like, well, is he going to be big enough for 33 or 40, moving up from 33? Yes, he is. He's big enough, strong enough, he's explosive enough. He looks really good, and he feels real good. Was good, excited to get him back out there. Peyton Moore, it was good to get him back out on the mat. Was tweaked a little bit, and just something where you don't need to rush things early in the season. But, man, I thought that he competed very well, kept very good composure. And that's kind of something that sometimes we saw last year a little bit. He panicked. You get in a situation, maybe get behind, and then you start to panic, and he didn't do that one bit. Guy came out in his second match and took him down twice right away, but, man, kept his composure, stayed focused, and that's growth right there. That's what you want to see. Was able to get Logan Ryan back on the mat. Love the pace that he wrestles. Was excited to see him compete. I'm trying to think, when we got to see Max and Drew, they were out at the All-Star Duel last week, but having those guys back out with the team is always an important thing. Let's see. I guess I'll go through my guys real quick, but, I'm just looking at Schwarm's hair right now, and I'm kind of laughing at it, but that's kind of who he is, though. That's his swag, that's kind of, and that's important to us. And I listened to an interview that he talked a little bit after, and I was asking, what are you thinking about out there? And he's like, I'm just being myself. And I tell you what, I love that. I love guys being able to be themselves, and that's what makes them who they are. That's what makes them good wrestlers. Not trying to be something else, not trying to wrestle a certain way that someone else wants them to wrestle, but wrestling the way that they can wrestle. Man, he pinned 4 guys in short time. Has a lot of confidence right now. Excited to see him continue to gain and build on this momentum that he's had at the start of the season. I wouldn't want to have to compete against him right now. He just kind of how he's walking out there. And he thinks he's going to beat everybody, and he thinks he's going to pin everybody, and man, let's just keep doing it. Like I said, Elber wrestled well. Max wrestled really well in the finals. I think sometimes things as things go, as tournaments go, you kind of work into them a little bit, or, man, I'm at the last one of the last events I was at was All-Star Duel. Or the last event before that, I was at the Nationals. Sometimes you can struggle to get up. He competes his tail off every time, but, man, I saw some pop and explosion with him and Foster in that last match, and that's what you want to see. You want to see guys raise their level as it goes, but saw some things that maybe I hadn't seen earlier in the tournament, and that's always a good sign. Those guys just need the lights to shine, and they'll continue to raise their level. Peyton wrestled well. Taylor wrestled really well those last couple matches. I think last week against Coleman, it might have been maybe a 6-7 point match, and then he teched him handily, and that's those are the things that he can do. Just got to penetrate a little bit more, but, man, just scoring points and letting it go, trusting yourself, and that's what we're really trying to get all our guys do, and then I'll go back to, I'll finish with, Carter Isley trusting himself. He got behind. He's behind late in the match, and he went and attacked, and that is a very, very good sign for us. He ended up getting scored on a shot early, and sometimes then he wouldn't go back to it. Like last year, maybe he wouldn't go back to it. So, the growth that I've seen out of like Peyton Moore, same thing I'm seeing out of Carter Isley, and he's a big, strong man. I may tell you what, I would not want to get in that guy's way. And especially as he continues to build his confidence, and keeps building his momentum, he's going to be really tough to beat. Schoenfelter won his second tournament in a row, and actually a guy that beat him last week, he pinned him. So again, just growth. Guys making adjustments, getting better, really getting some of that match anxiety out of them. And I think every time we get out there, we should continue to get better and improve as a team. So we go to Cornell on Friday. They have a good team. I know they're young, and I know that Coach Cole kind of downplays what they have, but I know they're very talented. They're very well coached. And so, I'm excited to get our team out there just as a group and kind of build off each other. You have Schwarm. You kind of have that lineup feel. It's not the same when you do a tournament. They can really build momentum off each other. They're strong in some weights. I know 65 moved up to 74, and he was an All-American last year. So on paper, that's probably one of the marquee matches. Got a really, really good guy at 41. Was a couple-time cadet world champ. I know it's freestyle, but he's a good wrestler. And then sprinkled up and down the lineup, they have a lot of good wrestlers. So we have to be ready to compete at a high level. And then, then we come back Sunday. Good test for our team. The travel and all those things. And some of those things you just got to be able to let go. Like, it doesn't matter. Because I know someone will ask, well, what about all that? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Like, we have to kind of be, and I said in my press conference, kind of the bulletproof mentality. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're going cross country and then coming back and then having to wrestle. You have to be able to focus. And you can let all those little things add up and bother you, or just big deal. Like, it doesn't matter. I expect things to go wrong. Maybe who knows? Maybe we'll get stuck in Chicago and have to drive home, and it doesn't matter. Like, none of those things matter. Like, the things that we can control is being able to keep our focus, being able to keep firmly fixed on what's in front of us and not let anything else get to us. And if we can do that, then we're going to have an incredible team. And some guys have been able to do it. Some guys have to get better at that. But that's what we're going to do throughout the season. Help these guys grow and continue to improve them and move forward and get a lot of momentum going as a team. So that starts. It starts on Friday against Cornell, and I know they have. Like New York State's, they have a big thing going on, so I think it'll be a good crowd. Obviously get to wrestle Cole. His dad has a lot of history here. Wrestled here, was multi-time national champion here. OW, the national tournament, was coach here. So we're excited to go out there, and then really excited to get them to come back next year, and then being able to honor him and his family, and make sure the Coles know how much we appreciate everything that they've done for the UNI wrestling program. But beyond that, I guess, any questions?